blueberry bats. Good morning, my little pumpkin Pop-Tarts. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. My day is going fantastic. I hope your guys is out. I hope you're all. Why does what I'm trying to say not sound like English? So I'm actually filming really late in the day. It's like 5 p.m. And you're probably like, was that really late in the day? I go to bed at 7. I go to bed at like 7/8 o'clock. It's between 7 and 8. So, like, it's almost my bedtime, basically. So it's like, all right. But I just received something in the mail that I'm so excited for, which is, hold please, my Glamlite order. It's here. So this is the huge PR box. I purchased the huge PR box. Did I need to? No. But like, did I? Yes. So, what is in this bad boy? Ugh. Clearly just like hits in the face. We have 2 palettes, 2 monochromatic palettes. So we've got a blue and a red. We have a collector's Icee cup, which is going at my desk at work because I put all my tumblers there. And it has little glosses inside. So, you're probably like, so what are we going to be doing, Carrington? I'm going to be doing a red eye look, a blue eye look with blue underneath the lower lash line and red underneath the lower lash line. And then we're going to be trying out the lip products inside the cup. Let me just tell you, it's really hard to get the cup out. Just going to tell you that right now. It's really hard to get the cup out. But if you guys want to see what my thoughts are on this giant collection, did I really need to buy it all? Yes. Did I? Yes. But was it really worth my money? Is it going to be worth your money? I don't know. Let's dive on into together and jump into the video. So, cardboard packaging. Super cute. Okay. Yes. This is blue. Oh man, is this blue. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, do some swatches of each of the palettes, and then we will come back and talk about them. Okay, so we have the blue raspberry Icee on this side. So we have Chillin', Frozenated, Polar Bear, Ice Cold, Glacial, Frost, Icicles, Cool, Refresh, Blue Raspberry, Icy, and Melted. So then we have the Cherry Icee palette, right? Yep, the Cherry palette. This definitely seems a little bit more pink in some aspects, but let's go ahead and let's just start talking about the shades. So the first one right down here, which is kind of like an icy with like a pinkish red shift, is called White Cherry. So very fitting. We have Cool Taste, Colorful Tongue, Epic, Fruity, Flavorific, Wild Cherry, Smile, Funtastic, Treat, Frosted Cherry, and Sweet. So the reds probably didn't swatch near as good as the blues. Reds are much harder to formulate. I think that's something that should just be said. Reds can be extremely hard to formulate, which is probably why they still lean slightly a little bit more like pinkish in tone. Oh no, I feel like, oh yeah, these are gonna stain. I'm really nervous about the red, how bad these are gonna, yep, these are gonna stain. So these are pressed pigment palettes, so that you could have some staining. I'm slowly starting to experience that, but trying to like wipe it off, but definitely something to be mindful of that you might experience, especially the blues, which is odd, usually the pinks, but that you might definitely experience some staining. So the blue palette's already over here, so let's just go ahead and do blue. I've never done this technique before, so just like let's just try this out. Okay, this could be a good idea, this could be a bad idea. Okay. Man, I'm really nervous because I've never done this before. I've never done this technique. So I'm going to start off with a shade right here called Polar Bear. I'm going to take this on my Sigma E33 Detail Diffused Crease. Okay. I'm just going to start with just like the littlest amount, even like tapping in lightly. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in like half of my crease area and like above. So like up to like the middle part. Just gonna focus it like right in like this area. I have no idea how good this is gonna go. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit, tiny bit more on my brush because I want to start really focusing this. Remember, I don't have much of a crease, right? Like I've already lost a good portion of that when I open up my eyes. So I need to make sure that I am like starting to really diffuse this up. So then my outer portion's a little bit bigger, so I think that'll be fine. I'm then gonna go into the shade right here. Let's try Blue Raspberry. This could be good, this could be bad, I don't know. All right, and start this, blend it towards the center. I feel like maybe this brush isn't the best for this that I'm using. Like it packs the color on nice, but I just want to marry those two together. So, okay, I'm going to take this little brush again and just kind of go back and forth right here in the middle. Just what I'm going to focus on is right here in the middle, back and forth. I didn't really even take that color near this one. Okay, let's try it with that, like this brush, that deeper outer shade. Seeing if maybe we can get this built up a little bit more, just because I feel like it's looking so similar to that other blue. Like this shade and this shade look so similar on the eye, but they don't look that similar in the pan. So then for my outer corner, I'm gonna go into the shade right here called Melted. And I'm just gonna kind of like pack that and just start focusing that on the lower lash line, blowing it out towards my outer corner. This is very, very pigmented for sure. And then I'm just gonna bring it up right ever so slightly. So I don't want to lose out on all the shades that we've used. So, okay. So here's like the eye matte shades completed for right now, I guess. All right, so shimmers. This is where I'm kind of like, what do I want to do? Let's go into the shade right here, Frost, and we'll put that kind of like on like the outer portion, like outer to center part of my lid. I think that's what we're gonna do. So this is very blue. Okay. And then I want to take the shade, let's do this one right here called Chillin'. And we'll bring that to like the inner and marry it in the middle. Here's what we've got going on for that blue raspberry palette so far. We will be coming back to that later. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color switch these two brushes. I feel like I really liked working with these two brushes. So let me go and do that really quick. So let's go ahead, let's get started with the red palette. So I'm going to take that Sigma brush and I'm going to go into the shade right here called Cool Taste and focus this on the first portion of my lid. Now, I'm really dunking into this shade right here, and there's not really a lot of, there's not like kick up, but it's really taking a lot to even get my brush anywhere near as coated as it was for the blue palette, for the blue raspberry palette with that first shade. So let's just go ahead and start. So even though it took a while to like coat up my brush, it's, I mean, it really is packing some punch here. Like, I don't need to dip back in like I needed to with that blue. So, okay. So here we are up in diffuse. I might still just like even like bring that over just a little bit. Okay. So then I want to go into the shade let's go into the shade right here called Wild Cherry. And ooh, that one has a lot of kick up and it's very pigmented. So then I'm just going to start bringing this into my outer. Yeah. Like, see how like these two are very different? This is very light and the other one is very like dark. I didn't really find that a whole lot with the blue. So this red is off to a great start. Okay. All right. So then for the outer portion of my lid, I'm going to go into the shade. I'm trying to decide if I want to do like Treat or Sweet, but let's go ahead and do Treat. Let's do Treat. Oh, I took the wrong brush. Where's my brush? Okay, this one coats really nicely. Very minimal fallout. And we're just going to start buffing that on like the lower lash line and buff it out. Then just kind of focus it up. Just a little bit. Yup. Just like that. So let's go ahead and let's take the shade right here called Fruity. And this is kind of a rough feeling kind of a shade. And we'll start that in like the center to like outer portion of my eye. And I do kind of have to go back in. Again, this feels a little bit rough. I don't know how else to explain. It's like a little bit rougher than the other ones. It's not like as buttery. All right, so here's that. So then I'm going to go into the shade right here called Colorful Tongue. And we'll focus that on like the inner to middle portion of the lid. Oh gosh, I don't know. I feel like in pan, it looks like it's going to be like tons lighter than the other one. But like, once it's on your finger, I don't really know. But the Colorful Tongue is definitely not scratchy like the Fruity shade was. Okay, so this is what we've got going on for our eyes now. It's wild. It's a wild time. So I'm going to go ahead, go do some more of my makeup off of camera, come back so then we can do the lower lash line. Actually, before we do any of that, let's go ahead and let's try out each of these glosses on the lips. So let's see. First up is the cherry one. I feel like the packaging is really cute. I think it's cute that this came with it. I'm going to tell you, these were a pain in the ass. One, this was a pain in the ass to even get out of the box. these were even 20 times worse to even get out and to get like the insides out so you could ever even be able to use this cup. It was awful. It was just terrible. So, okay, so we've got cherry. Kind of has a nice sweet scent to it. Okay. Doesn't provide a lot of pigment. Kind of has like this weird stickiness to it that I can't really describe. Let me look. So, you know, it's honestly a gloss with maybe some like, it doesn't have any sparkles in it. Might make your lips maybe a little bit more pink. You know, not overly pink, but maybe just a little bit. So next up, we have raspberry. Okay. So let's... This smells different than the cherry. I don't necessarily know, like the cherries smell necessarily like a cherry. This one kind of has like a... it's almost like a cotton candy kind of a smell to it, truthfully. Okay, so on the lips here... It's a very, very minute amount of like blue to it. And then the last one is the cola one, which I'm kind of shocked they did. I guess like they have tons of like neutral palettes, but I thought it would have been cool to also have like a like cola palette. Okay. This smells interesting. I can't really quite put my finger on it. Oh, I was not ready for this. I like this. Okay. Okay. So definitely the cola provides like a very like brownish pinky nude, and it definitely has some like gold kind of sparkles to it. That's very prominent on the lips. So that's what we've got so far. So I'm now going to go do the majority, if not all of the rest of my face off of camera, so we can come back, do the lower lash line, and then apply a gloss. Okay, so we are back with the majority of the rest of the face completely and totally finished. The only things we don't have finished is we need to choose a gloss, and we need to do the lower lash line. So over on this side, I'm going to use something from the red. I don't want to take necessarily something that we have already used. Let me try to find my little brush. So we haven't used Epic, Flavorific, Smile, or Sweet. Let's go ahead, let's do Flavorific. I'm going to take that. May went a little bit too crazy. I don't know. We'll see. Let's like just start taking this. Wow. Wow. Okay. So let's color switch that brush. And now we have to pick a shade for the blues, the red side in the blue palette. So we haven't used Frozenated, we haven't used Cool, and we haven't used any of these. I think I'm gonna let's go ahead and do Cool. I think that's the one I'm gonna use. Okay, all right. This could be quite the look. You could not even sit here and tell me this is not a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. I kind of feel like the Mad Hatter. Like, do you guys see this? Like, this is definitely like a Mad Hatter vibe. 100% a Mad Hatter vibe. Should I wear this to work tomorrow? Okay, but like, should I? Or like, should I? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Okay, all right. So now we need to go in with a gloss. So I have something very nude on the lips. We've already used the cherry palette and the blue raspberry palette. So I think I want to go ahead and throw some Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola slushie. I think it's just called cola, but I think it's like the Coca-Cola slushie or something like that. And so I'm going to put that on my lips. I think that would be, yeah, okay. Definitely amps it up, you know, a little bit. These, like glosses have such interesting, like, scents to them. I like it. They're just very interesting. So this is the final look. What does everybody think? Let me tell you, I think this is wild. This is wild. Like, this is a look. Like, there's nothing about this that is not a full-on moment. All right. So we have talked about this being a full-on moment. So let's go ahead and let's talk about my final thoughts of this collection. One, I think it's super cute. Okay. The whole, like, PR box, the little cup, although the cup was a pain in the ass to get out, and to get all the things out of it was also a pain in the ass. But it's cute. You guys can't tell me that it's not cute. It's cute. All right. It is what it is. It's cute. Out the palettes. So first off, if we're just being honest, my favorite is probably the red. With that being because I prefer reds over blues. Blues intimidate me, and let me tell you, like, every time I do a blue look, I'm always like, oh, that actually turned out really good. I like it. It's beautiful. And I love it. Like, it's not that I don't love it, but it's just a lot more intimidating. Like, I think the blue turned out a lot better than the red, but to me, blues are more intimidating. Now, in terms of quality, I think they each had something different to add to the table. And what I mean by that is I think they are both very nice and very pigmented. But I feel like some of the shimmers in the red were a little bit rough. Like the shade Fruity, it was just kind of like rough feeling. The shade Colorful Tongue was fine. It was beautiful. Not a problem, not an issue. I do kind of like how they really added in like this really like light. I think this could have been really cute to add into a blue palette. Like this is like a, you know, white with like a reddish pink shift. And I think this could have been so cute to have like a white shade with like a bluish shift. I think that would have been really cute to do. But these are very pigmented. I felt like there was enough differentials between them that I didn't feel like I was just doing the same thing over and over again. With this, I felt like all of the shimmers were really nice. I think that like you could go a little bit more of like a greenish blue route, whereas this, it's kind of like a pink or a red, but you could kind of go like a greenish blue or like a, you know, like a periwinkle and then some blues. So I really think that you get a lot more diversity. However, within that diversity, these two shades right here look exactly the same. Like they're so different. Like here's Polar Bear, guys, what we went into, and then here's this one. And I just didn't find that it was different. I didn't think it was deepened up enough. I didn't really find that it was super different. I didn't feel like there was anything different about it. Of course, I didn't play with like all of the shades, so I can't say much. I went in with the shade Cool, and again, just looking at it, like just here to here, so they're not next to each other. Again, just I'm not sure that the blues are really differentiated enough. I do have to play around with that just a little bit more, but I feel like each thing kind of adds something and brings something different to the table that I really like and I really enjoy. So if you are like, I just only want to get one, I think that you need to think about how many looks you're wanting to create. What kind of color store like do you like? Which are you more intimidated by? And is that something that you're wanting to add to your collection? So are you wanting a blue palette because that intimidates you more? Or are you wanting a red palette to play around with because that intimidates you more? I think there's things you need to, decide amongst yourself, but I don't think one is inherently worse than the other. I think that these are both really nice pigmented palettes. They performed well. The looks I created were fun. It was definitely fun, different. I had a ton of fun doing it, and I think, again, they all provide and add something different to the table. And so if you want to get both, I would get both. But if not, just kind of decide what you're wanting to add to your collection. I don't think I'll be disappointed with either. Well, all right. With the glosses, I think my favorite gloss out of all of these is probably this one. And it's not because, it's because it's a nude. No. I think the reason for me personally, this one is better is because this has more depth and dimension to it. So what I mean by that is when I put this on my lips, you could tell the color change, right? Like you could tell like it amped up my lip color. It also had some like glitter specks in it. If you don't like glitter specks, you probably won't like this. But in comparison to these two really didn't do much. It kind of maybe gave a little bit of a hint of like a red or like a pink or like a blue. I don't think it added, I really don't think you would need both of these. Just, figure out, would you like something that might give you a little bit of add of like blue and add that to your collection? Or, a little hint of pink, add that to your collection. But this one definitely changed my lip color. So I could use this for like in the center of the lips, if I had a darker lip liner, if I wanted to like deepen up a whole lip, like let's say, I went in with a really light nude liquid lip and I was able to deepen it up a little bit more with this. And if you want something that has some sparkle and dimension, I think this is definitely like the most different. And that's why I like this one a lot more than I do these. I love the way all of these smell. I think the applicator is really nice. It's not overly sticky, blotchy, runny, anything like that. I think that these are all really great glosses. But if I had to pick one, I feel like this gave me something more than just a clear gloss with maybe a hint of something else. Like this definitely gave me something different. So for me, I think the palettes were really nice and I really like the Kola glosses. Overall, I think this was a really cute collection. I am glad I have it in my collection. Do you need to run out and purchase the whole thing? Not necessarily. I think you really need to evaluate, like, what your spendability, your affordability. I think you need to evaluate, like, is it worth getting the PR box just to get, like, this little cup? Like, for me, I collect little cups. Like, I have cups galore at my desk at work, like, so many cups. I love little tumblers, like I love tumblers, like love tumblers. So to me, it adds something. But if you're not ever going to use it and you don't really collect them, so it's going to be sitting in a cabinet collecting dust, probably not. For glosses, I would honestly say if you just want to pick up one, pick up this. Unless you hate sparkles, then pick up one of these. It doesn't matter which one, honestly. They're basically the same. And then if I had to pick a palette, I think that's going to have to be preference. I've told you kind of the differences and the similarities that they have. They're both really pigmented, but each of them provide something different. So figure out what you think would be added to your collection. Blue intimidates me more, so I like the red more. It doesn't intimidate me quite as much, but I think the blue look turned out really beautiful, and I think they picked some really beautiful blues. I just don't necessarily know that once on the eyes if the blues are as super differentiated. So there's something to be mindful of, but that is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think of this look. Let me know what you guys think of this collection. Are you planning on picking it up? Are you not? Are you maybe going to see if it goes on sale? Go in a mystery box? Doubtful, but like maybe. Let me know all of that down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you'll be notified of all my future uploads. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys. Subscribe. Don't forget to comment, and I will see you guys in my next one.